Welcome to Lights in the Night with your host, Russell Johnson. Uncover the truth about alien contact and hear from insiders who reveal the evidence. Stay tuned.
These?
Yeah, that's good. I think so. I think that'd be good. Well, welcome, Lights in the Night. Once again, here we are with information on UFOs, UAPs, and the congressional hearings are still going on. The last one was done by Lou Alexandro, and he wrote a book called Imminent. I don't know whether you've gotten it or not, or you heard the latest on that, but you should get that. That's imminent. But listen, there's so much information coming down. I've been talking about UFO 101, UFO 102 at best, but I think we want to raise the consciousness level of what we're talking about, because we have Dr. Stacy, and she's been listening to Stephen Greer, how about Billy Carson?
Yes,
Billy
absolutely.
Carson. So you got all those people, David Icke and all those people?
Oh, they have been such an inspiration in my own journey, especially through my dissertation work. I feel like I am put here on the planet to show the data, so that way it bridges this cosmic connection of consciousness.
Okay.
And we can have deeper conversations about how to apply all this wonderful stuff that we know into communication modalities, healing modalities, and really raise the vibrational frequency.
Well, you're really deep. Do you know anything about Sky Prince and the med bed and all that, and galactic chambers?
Oh, I can't wait to hear. I have so many questions for you. I can't wait to hear. That was one of it. What is your favorite thing that you've been downloaded with?
Oh, Jesus. To be here and to try to give some information.
I love that. The shining light that...
Just a little bit.
Your shining light.
I mean, look, there's so many people who have UFO, UAP podcasts and talking about this issue. So many books. I got about 50 books at home.
Yes, I
But, you know, Guy will watch Guy all
Correct,
the time.
yes.
You know, David Wilcock and Corey Good and on, Emerald Smith.
Yes.
But I'm just saying that it's so much information.
It's so much information, and that's why I believe that we have to have that research and data to back it up. One of my favorite authors is Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Oh, yeah.
The Biology of Belief. He changed my life. One of my greatest mentors going through, and Amika Swami. And once you learn about the science behind it and how we show that data, then it would be great to be able to put a collective consciousness so people aren't so afraid to talk about it. We can talk about it more openly, but the funding needs to get there so we can have that research done to show that consciousness is such a part of all modalities.
Yeah, well, I have a nonprofit organization, the UFO Broadcasting Network Incorporated.
Oh, fantastic.
501c3, you know, state of Florida, through the federal government. Yeah. So, yeah, we will be looking for grant writers to help us coalesce this information,
fantastic.
categorize it, and give it to the public so they have full understanding.
And that's what we need is we need to have that data, because nowadays there's a lot of people that go on, and love and light to all YouTube stars and people, but a lot of people jump on and they say things that I believe give the public so many different avenues and way to think.
Right.
And I believe if we corroborate that with data, then that's the solid foundation to grow moving forward.
Okay.
So it's more of a streamline with that research in the background. Because how can you deny research?
Right, of course, yeah, you got to do your homework.
Yes.
Yeah. But most people don't do their homework, and that's okay.
No.
But we want to provide the information and the resources so they can get information and start doing their homework.
Yes, and do it. Yeah, and I believe that once people come, exactly how you said it, once people become engaged, then their consciousness will heighten, and then more doors will open, because the universe always provides. So once you start to open those doors, then a little information comes in here and here.
Well, let me just ask you questions, because we haven't talked before.
No, this is we met over a conversation about instant scalar energy pendants, which that could be another conversation, but instantly clicked. I felt like he was already woven into the tapestry of life.
Wow. Well, you're going to open a lot of doors. I was basically doing, for the past year or so, just UFO 101, that UFOs are here, aliens are here, they made us, Anunnaki, da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yes.
But but you taking it to a whole different level in terms of raising the consciousness of the people. And the universe is doing that itself.
And that's why I think that maybe, when I had asked you what was your biggest, most beautiful download, I call them cosmic downloads. And he had said, being here. And all my sensors went off, and I said, that's right, because it takes people to be able to have those conversations in a educational, data-backed,
right.
and with your experience and what you've seen with that, I mean, that must be mind-blowing to have those behind-the-door conversations that now people can have in Congress and in other situations.
Right.
We've come so far.
Yeah, we've come far, but we've got a long ways to go this year. This is 2024 was, in some instances, the beginning of the disclosure.
Like a toenail clipping of disclosure, I like to say.
But
a toenail clipping of disclosure is what we have now.
Well, now it's going to take off this year, 2025.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Because they're saying, and I'll get a question, they're saying that when I listen to Elizabeth April and some of the other people who are doing research on this, Linda Newton Howell and all those people.
Validated people that care.
And Bashar,
yes.
Beautiful. They're talking about the different alien species. And there are thousands of them, hundreds of thousands. But anyway, some of them will come by year 2027.
Well, that's right around the corner.
Yeah, and so we got to get people ready for that. But Mother Earth,
to not receive it in fear either.
Right.
To receive it as, meeting new people, a new friend.
Okay.
But definitely a growth of consciousness, and that's what I feel, that if we can raise the collective consciousness through education and a good foundation of military personnel and government and have those right avenues where people can believe and understand, then I think it will make people be able to digest down this new information much better.
It's a lot coming, So where would you have a novice start? See, I was talking to a gentleman yesterday. He speaks several languages, but he says, based on his analysis and his,
he's into this world.
We have talked about it a little bit, but he says that he was thinking about three things: that we're the only people in the universe. Period. That was one of his thoughts. Right.
Okay.
And the other one is that nobody else but us, in the whole vastness of the billions and trillions and multi-trillions of planets, nobody else exists but us. And most people think that way,
They think in a linear, for sure.
Right.
Even Einstein called it spooky entanglement because he wasn't quite sure of quantum physics when it first began.
Explain that to people, the quantum physics, that spooking entanglement.
Okay, so well, let me see. The easiest way that I can explain it for, you said a basic, like 101?
Yeah, 101.
Is
101.
Oh, okay, perfect. So, and this is my interpretation of quantum physics.
Sure.
Very, very
Sure.
easy. So I'm holding this. I'm holding this beautiful apple. And how we see and you see this apple is because light reflects off this apple, and then we take that information and we process it. And depending on if you're colorblind, you're saying, wow, this is an apple. Wow, this is an apple. Hey, everyone, this is an apple. So what quantum entanglement states is that when light reflects off this and I'm downloading it, you're downloading it, what that means is that the information of the apple isn't just here, but it's here, it's now to you. So if light is reflecting and I'm getting information that this is an apple, and so is he, that means that the information, light hits, light's carrying that apple information to everyone. So that's a simple,
that's one
basic,
way.
That's one way. And another more complicated would be everything is happening at all times, all at once.
Oh, Jesus. All the
But
time.
I think the apple might be a good base way to.
But then you're going into the timelines.
But we're not linear. It's a beautiful.
Explain that then.
Oh well, the easiest. that you can go so deep in it where some
I
people.
know, I really want to go real deep, but just.
Yeah, well, some people.
People talk, they're going to hear timelines. They're going to hear this over and over again.
Yeah, it's not. It's non-linear. It's not you're going to A to B. It's a beautiful tapestry, and I think that analogy comes into play when you're meeting people. When I first met him, I felt that, oh, well, this is a person that's going to be in my tapestry of life. And so I believe that thought and creates this beautiful tapestry that kind of goes into like a spider web of the universe. This is how I view it in my mind. And everything's there. And when you resonate with people and ideas, then that's when the beauty happens of growth. And that's why I was very excited to meet you, because I would love to know, how do we put this amazing information that you have into applications of helping us communicate better, heal better, science. You know, how do we integrate this? You know, because
that's very important.
Yes, I think so.
You mentioned Dr. Greer.
Yes.
Have you been listening to Dr. Greer or following him?
I have for years. I have to say thank you to Don Bullard. He turned me on to Dr. Stephen Greer a little while back, and I was blown away by what he was saying in comparison to my own meditation experiences. Real quickly, when I was doing my dissertation work, I was raw vegan. I'm not strict now and no judgment. I just like to call food information. By the time I was raw vegan, I was very open, tapped in, was meditating every day, and my heart was dripping sweat and I was crying. My endocrine system was working. So the PhD side of me said, how do we show this so people can do this and be able to, you know, heal themselves? And so that's when I got into functional blood chemistry analysis. And I really want to be able to prove that the magic works with intentional, coherent thought when you're focusing on things.
Well, Dr. Greer talks about that in terms of his,
Yes.
is it what, G5? Is it?
Well, when I heard his meditation experience from I believe he was an emergency room doctor. He was an MD, emergency room doctor, highly stressful. And to hear him not be afraid to talk about his meditation and what he saw gave me the strength to be here with you today and not deny the invisible, amazing love that's around us that I believe that we've been told from a higher power to focus and tap in on. And so I can't wait to have conversations with you and find out, how do we use this for the greatest good?
Well, you're beginning to do that now, because now you're explaining to the people, even, I don't know how many people follow Dr. Greer, except a handful. I mean, I'm sorry, he has hundreds of thousands of people viewing him for the last 25 years.
I've never been to one of his meditations, but I would love to.
You should. Yeah.
I would absolutely love to, and I would also love, being the science person that I am. I would love to do brain mapping on people that can connect with the powers that they feel that they are connecting to, and I would love to see where in the brain that is, and if it's different places, if it's the same, and if there's a way maybe to get a frequency protocol so people can get there to maybe have those communications with the universe or God or other maybe
source.
Intelligent beings. Yes.
Yeah, that's good.
Yes.
Yeah, source. Do you know anything about Elizabeth April or Leonard?
I do. I know little bits and pieces, but not in depth as much as.
Right, but you have heard of her.
Yes.
Yeah. What do you think about the way? Because she's a remote viewer. She's an intuitive.
Yes.
She does out of body and goes to the Galactic Command, the ships, and talks to the aliens, and she comes back and give us this information.
Like messages. I like to call them cosmic downloads.
Oh, okay, cosmic downloads.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be wonderful to, and these are some questions that moving forward I'd love to ask you. Is what is her favorite cosmic download? Like, what brought her the most blissful love? Because when I do meditation, I get these downloads, and you just feel this beautiful, blissful love. What was her favorite, and probably what does she think is paramount to pass on to us right now? Like, what steps do we need to take to get this validated so we can have these in different areas of science, healing, especially communication?
Right, that's true. No, you're right. Yeah, I would encourage people to go to her website. Just put Elizabeth April. She calls herself EA, and she has thousands and thousands and thousands of podcasts that she's already done. and she will guide you and talk to you, and some of which she has some real special information that she downloads a lot.
I love that.
That the traditional media doesn't like.
I understand, because the data's not there. But once we get the data there, then hopefully it'll be more accepted. But I understand.
No, because okay.
Because it's a little, without understanding quantum entanglement, it's a little too far reach for people. I think at the moment.
Some, but she can be controversial, because she gets into a lot of stuff that the traditional media, like BlackRock, State Street, and Vanguard, those three, they control everything.
I was just going to ask,
Go ahead.
has she, and I'm sorry for the interruption,
Go ahead.
but has she felt threatened at all?
Yeah, big time.
Okay.
Big time. They threaten her all the time.
Because I would think with that remote viewing, there's...
She sees things that the media doesn't want to broadcast.
Understood.
And so she has to be very careful. And they had threatened her a number of times.
I feel that.
And she's 28 years old, and she's been doing it for 20 years. Since she's about 3 or 5. But
and where is she at? Is she in Florida, or is she?
No, she's not in Florida.
Okay.
I think Freddie talked to her one time. I made contact with her, and we were going to bring her on at some point.
Well, I was not to overstep because it's my first time, but
go ahead.
I practice natural medicine, and I have 3 retreat sites. So if you're listening and you would like to come down, you have a nice. If you're in cold weather, you have a nice holistic oasis retreat site to stay at, and we'd love to have you on. Is that an okay thing to say?
Sure.
Okay.
People
Wonderful.
need help.
Yes.
Because downloading all this information, it's monumental. It's ubiquitous. It's everywhere.
And we need to be able to talk about it so we get on that same path. And
Right.
it's not, a little over here and a little over
okay.
here.
Okay. Well, maybe you're the person to bring it together.
I really truly feel that is my life's purpose, is to supply the correct data. So there's no more of this wishy-washy, well, maybe light, sound, frequency does something, maybe it doesn't. I mean, right now, frequency, light, and sound protocols have been approved for cardiac rehab.
Okay.
And there's a great TED talk on frequency medicine. So now to be able to have these talks about frequency, I think that's starting to bridge the gap of consciousness, because some people don't understand consciousness. They're very religious. I believe that you get into semantics when you talk about God and religion, and when you take that out,
trouble.
Yeah, and when you take that out of it, and you have just light, sound, frequency downloads, that would be wonderful to start to incorporate.
How would people start, since you've been delved in, and you have a basic foundation in terms of what you do? And this is my second time I'm meeting you. The first time we just met in the studio here.
Correct, yes.
But, all right,
over scalar energy.
And I haven't even had a chance to interview you or talk to you. You haven't talked to me.
No,
So,
we missed our meeting yesterday.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So here we are. Here's the meeting.
Oh, I'm so excited to go down rabbit holes with him.
Right. So what would you tell people who are relatively new to even begin to think, possibly think,
that there's something
that aliens exist? If we make that a truism, that there's a definite yes that aliens exist, and they might still doubt. A lot of people still doubt.
Understood. Well,
a lot of people still doubt the fact that, 2 questions in one, that maybe 400,000, 500,000, 600,000 years ago, a group of aliens called the Anunnaki, as documented by Zachariah Sitchin in his book, The 12th Planet, came to this planet, developed us, and used us to do the work that was supposed to be done, like slaves.
That was one of my takeaways that
ahead.
he recommended that I want to read, is that book.
Okay.
So that's on my list to read.
All right. But if people get their heads around what I just said, the 2 things: one, that they are there,
Yes.
other people in the universe beside us, right?
Yes.
And that their one species came in 400,000 years ago, according to Van Daniken, Chariot, was it of the gods, whatever, and made us. If you can get a head around those 2 things that we've been not programmed for, how would you introduce those 2 ideas?
I love the questions.
Right.
I think that I'm going to try to answer them as clear as possible.
Sure.
My gut is through education. So with what you're saying, amazing, wonderful, awesome, but I think that people aren't there to bridge that bridge yet. I think that they need to be aware, and this is just my input.
Sure.
I believe that they need to be aware of their own consciousness, and that there is a mind body beautiful connection. Because right now, when I talk about healing modalities, they know they go to the doctor, they get a pill, and that's it.
Right.
So if we're dealing with linear minds of this, opening up consciousness about grounding down, putting your feet on the earth. So I believe that if you
That's important?
Oh, so important. It's good for inflammation.
Why is it important?
It's good for, we're earthlings. We're supposed to eat from the planet. We can breathe this air, but yeah, putting your feet on the ground is so important.
Without shoes.
Yeah, especially without shoes. It's inflammation. There's a wonderful movie called The Earthing Movie, or The Grounding Movie, that has a doctor's take on it as well. But I truly feel that the way to answer your question is to give the education and the data so people can have that foundation. Because I believe that without understanding that that's how we connect to those otherworldly beings is through a collective consciousness, until we bridge that thought span, then I think that people are going to have a hard time just saying, okay, well, here's something that I don't know about, and it's here. So that would be my answer, is let's give them what they need to be able to do their own research, but guide them. But yeah, raising their own consciousness.
How do you do that? You're the doctor.
Well, I'm also the worst patient. No, I'm just kidding. Well, when I first started learning about quantum entanglement, it fascinated me. And I thought, oh, well, this makes sense now. No wonder why I don't do well on a linear scale, because things are non-local. But if you're science-based, nurse, doctor, or even have a little bit of understanding in the medical field, the biology of belief, Dr. Bruce Lipton, great book to get started, I believe.
What's the title of it?
It's called The Biology of Belief, by Dr. Bruce Lipton. If you're science-minded, he was an MD, and he taught at med school, and then he got into the biology of belief. So if you're science-based, I think that's a really good book to start. And then if you're more, oh no, I've seen a spaceship, I've been taken, what would you say is a good way to start?
I said since Dr. Greer has been working on this since 1993, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and his website, to go to his website, just punch in Dr. Greer and go to, he has updated his website. He said it cost him $500,000 to upgrade it with 10,000 new pages of information.
Wow, that's amazing. So there you go. And what's the website to check out?
He started out years ago with the Discovery Project. Mine is Project Discovery. So go to this. But it's changed. Say whatever it is. Go to there. But if you Google, he's all over the place.
So I want to Google him, and then.
I said Elizabeth April.
Because but to get those new uploaded documents that he did, is that you said that's new on his site, correct?
Well, yeah, 10,000 documents.
That's amazing, and so that would be. On Stephen Greer.
Proof that he's done his research.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Yeah,
So that would be a wonderful place to start. So how would I do that? I would type in Stephen Greer and then new documents, or does he have his own website?
Just go there.
Just so we know to tell people what what they would go to.
The other thing I would do for people who believe, a little bit off subject, but not quite, since we have been abducted many, many, many times. Some of those people who understand a little bit may too. But anyway, so to get a grasp on that, and because they erase your memory, so most people who come back don't remember anything. And
who do they talk to about it? Is there a community that people...
you got MUFON societies, but I'd like to get a therapist. They had Dolores Cannon was one.
Yes, familiar.
She was major, but she just left us, went on the other side. Maybe she's running a command spaceship on the other side now.
And I'm sorry for everyone's loss. I know that she was very influential in this realm. So take a moment. Love you. Angels forever, but
Yeah.
yeah, a huge contributor.
Yeah, very much so. She's wrote 18 books, traveled the world over, and developed a way of hypnosis that was very unique than any other form of hypnosis that has ever been developed.
I love that.
Where she said she had 100%.
And was that to go back and see where people came from?
Yeah, she did the whole thing.
Wow.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
So her work stands. One website I know a lot of workers on is go to www.nohoax.net.
Nohoax.net.
Yeah, that was one. The other one for the people who might have been abducted and memories erased. They don't know whether they were what happened to me. Like Betty and Bonnie Hill in 1961.
Oh, yes,
right?
I'm familiar with that.
So to remember a little bit, if you don't have a hypnotherapist, you should be one, but to help these people. But anyway, I would go to people to look at www.hubbardchildrencommunity.com. Go there.
HubbardCommunityChildren.com.
Yeah, go there and you'll see the people
Okay,
who are
fantastic.
working on that. And you got to close. They say that's all the time.
Okay, wonderful.
Close.
Thank you. And thank you. I look forward to shifting the paradigm. I would love to go on deep dives and find out how we bring all this. And I loved your questions about how do we open the door so we can kick it in and all be one love all together.
Next week, same time, same place, right here, Lights in the Night, right here. Glad to have you, and I hope you get some information out of it. Thank you, Doctor, for being with us.
Thank you. It was wonderful to be here.
Thank you.
Lights in the Night is brought to you by Super Patch, revolutionizing wellness through cutting-edge neurotech patches that help you feel, move, and live better. Whether you're seeking improved balance, energy, or overall well-being, Super Patch has a solution for you. For more information, call 561-302-2588 or visit us online at ufo.superpatch.com. Take the first step to a better you with Super Patch. Thank you for joining us on Lights in the Night. Keep your eyes on the skies and stay curious. Until next time.